everyone, this is Hoàng Anh from PTE Magic Hanoi. Last week I saw an exposure request for me to do a video about pronunciation. I think this is also the perfect time for us to focus on pronunciation in order to improve your PTE speaking as well as your speaking in general while waiting for the real exam to come. So in today's video, let's look at how the pronunciation criterion is scored in the test, some common pronunciation mistake, and example from one of my pronunciation sessions.
Now let's talk about the 6 common pronunciation mistakes. The first one is speaking in a casual manner. Remember that you are taking the PTE academic exam, and the first task of speaking part itself is read aloud. So always remind yourself to be loud and clear instead of just mumbling, especially when there are many other people in the exam room speaking at the same time with you. The second mistake is omitting or inserting final sounds. This could be the reduction or insertion of the final sound of a syllable or a word. While some people may have the tendency to omit the final sounds of words, so dentist become dented, movement become movement, system becomes system, or usage become just usage. Some others accidentally add s to a lot of the words unnecessarily. Both of these mistakes give you away as non-native speaker with an intrusive foreign accent. It's going to cause massive understanding as well. Imagining why, while, white, wire, and wine all sound the same. The third one is mispronouncing vowels. For example, a lot of the students have a hard time telling the difference between eat and it, food and foot, or the and sound in money and morale. And on the other hand, some people sometimes mix up between think and tink, will and will, rice and lice, and zoo and you. Consonant clusters with 2 or 3 sounds are also problematic when world can sound like word or problem sound like rollum. Another easily spotted mistake is the tendency to just drop off some syllables. For example, material become material, experience become experience. Last but not least is the mistake relating to word stress. I've heard a lot of people say comfortable instead of comfortable, alternative instead of alternative, and development instead of development. This is a very common mistake among ESL students. It results from the fact that some students are not used to using word stresses in their mother tongue, and also from the fact that they are reading word by word without really understanding the meaning of the phrases in the text. For example, this could be spoken as for 30 to 60 days instead of for 30 to 60 days. Now let's listen to an example from one of my students in my pronunciation session.
Exhilarating, exhausting, and intense. They are just some of the words used to describe doing an MBA. Everyone's experience of doing MBA is, of course, different through denying that it's hard and a demanding work. Whichever course you do, MBA is one of the fastest growing areas of study in the UK, so that must be sustainable benefits against the form in one pen.
Throughout the text, it can be easily seen that ending sounds or final sounds is the most prominent issue. So she said fattest instead of just fastest, and against become against, or just become just. Another problem is that she tend to shorten the word by saying experience instead of just experience, or era instead of areas. And for this word studying, it sounds like just study to me. Last but not least, it should have been pronounced intense instead of just intense. Now let's listen to my version of the text. Exhilarating, exhausting, and intense. There are just some of the words used to describe doing an MBA. Everyone's experience of doing MBA is, of course, different through denying that it's hard and a demanding work whichever course you do. MBA is one of the fastest growing areas of studying in the UK, so that must be a sustainable benefit against form in one pen.
Now it's your turn, guys. Based on the 6 mistakes that I've shared in the video today, please let me know if you guys are making any of this mistake with your PTE pronunciation as well as your PTE speaking. A lot of my students have successfully passed the test with amazing results. So if you have any question or any concern, don't hesitate to reach out and let me know how I could help. Thanks for watching.